Yo, Islam, peace.
Peace
Islam,
and
peace to all the
love.
Moors out there.
Islamism Moors. We
Islam,
going
so
we gonna wait a couple minutes
yeah, we'll let some more
before we
people come
get
up in here.
started. It's a beautiful day. We have to come out here in nature. That's what it's about.
Islam, so we're gonna talk real quick and just speak on some stuff because it's just a thing that a lot of people wonder. Like a lot of people, are wary towards joining anything, and I get that. Islam, peace to everybody out there. A lot of people,
Peace and
some
love.
people are wary of even joining the Moorish Science Temple of America, formed by our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the Egyptian Adep. The Egyptian Adep came, returned our ancient science to us,
Islam.
and they're
People
still
don't know what that
teaching the
means.
church. So
A lot of
I
people
get it.
don't know what that means. They're like, hey, that Egypt. What?
Yeah, none of that stuff makes sense, right? So we're gonna make some sense out of it and speak on it. So since there's some people in here, we'll go ahead and get started. First and foremost, we rise, we give honors, praise to the Father of the universe, Allah. As always, we give honors to our noble prophet, our illustrious prophet, our divine prophet, divinely prepared by the Father of the universe, Allah, and that is
Islam.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We always give honors to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and that is
Brother E. Millie
Brother
Ill.
E. Millie Ill. Yes, the question is real. I'm glad you clicked on it. And we always give honors to the forerunner to the prophet, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. It, just like in the old days where you had John the Baptist in Jesus, there was a forerunner to the prophet, and that was Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. A lot of people don't even know that Marcus Mosiah Garvey was speaking on nationality. Okay, so this is the topic of the day. This is the topic of the times of the era that we're in. This is the era of nations and nation states. And so we also give honors to former Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother D. Bailey L. We give
Ali.
honors to the current Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and that is Brother
K.
K.
Dandridge
Dandridgel.
Ill.
We give honors to the
Islam.
Supreme Grand Council, to all members of the Grand Body. We give honors to all faithful members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and we also give honors to you and everyone else out there. We give honors to you, especially for watching this, because I know you're going to click like and share. You're going to help spread this information.
That's right.
And
Get
we
it
give
out.
honors to all Asiatics out there. Even if you don't consider yourself Asiatic, you're Asiatic from my perspective, and everybody that's prosperous, positive, that wants to uplift, fallen humanity and to help fix the ills facing our community. So, to hit on this topic though, real quick, which you see in here says, is the MSTofA like church? Is the Moorish Science Temple of America just another church? Is it just
No.
another church?
No.
For us to get in there and be pacified and cool with our conditions?
Singing church hymns and
It's actually the
stuff.
exact opposite. But
It's the
before we get
opposite.
into that, like, I'm just gonna speak on something just from what I know, right, from my perspective, because we're not new to this. We've been on this path, on this journey for like 16, 17 years now. It's been a while for us, studying some of the things that a lot of people are just now coming into because we're in an age of awakening. So,
The information age.
one of the things a
Age
lot
of
of
the
people,
Aquarius.
which I love to see, a lot of our people are getting into voodoo, getting into the
Spirituality.
earth, getting closer to, Mother Nature, Earth, spirituality,
Energy work.
your magic, your alchemy, all that. We've been there, done that. This woman has been on voodoo all her life. She's, of Haitian Boricua descent. This
That's
is not
more
like anything
science.
new to her. And when I met her a long, long time ago, all right, seeing her altars and things like that didn't scare me or turn me away because I was ready for it. So I'm just sharing that to say that none of that is new to us. We've been there. We've been through all the schools of thoughts. So, when I see people going through this, going through these stages and of awakening, it's a beautiful thing. We know to be patient with people, not to, try to act like we know everything or try to,
Islam.
belittle what people are going through. So that's why I'm saying I respect the questions that people have, and even people asking, is the MSTA just another church? I get it because, we've been there. This isn't new to us. It's been almost 20 years on this journey. I know we may look young, but we've been on this for a while. And so none of this stuff is anything new to
That's that
us.
voodoo. That's that more
Exactly.
science.
So like it doesn't matter where you're coming from a comedic perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like we just said, voodoo, candomblé, santeria, palo mayombe. It doesn't matter what you're coming from. It's like it's crazy,
It's
but
all
we've been
more
through all of
science.
that. The ancient Vedic sciences, ancient Sumeria, all that. We've been through all of that, right? Ancient Kemet. And one of the things, like we've actually been, studying more science for for a while too. But one of the things is disconnected it all. This is what connects it all, right? And so a lot of people don't understand by G.M. James, and actually there's several sources too that you can read. He'll explain to you that the Moors were the caretakers of the ancient wisdom from Kemet. And not only just Kemet, because what you'll learn by studying deeper is that Kemet wasn't just where you see in northern Africa now. It was actually a worldwide civilization, all right? Or Atlantis or Lemuria, whatever you want to
Islam.
call it, because it was actually an extension of that. Okay? And in saying that the Moors are the caretakers of that, it's not just that they came in and they took that knowledge and wisdom and kept it going, it's that they were those people. Egypt was Ta Mary, the land of the Moors. And so these Moors are the descendants of the ancients. And all of these sciences, it doesn't matter whether it's voodoo, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. These are ancient sciences that have been passed down, that have been kept alive by the Moors.
And they
Okay,
say
and
we
so
are our ancestors. That means
exactly.
we are back. We're here right now, and we're here for a reason. We have a purpose, and we each have an individual path. And you have to go through trials and tribulations to find your way. And the MSTofA is here for that cause.
Islam, and just like the brother said, not just the custodians, but the practitioners and the guides as well. That's right. That's right and exact. That's very on point. So these were the people then, and what they were then is what they are now, and this is the connection. And so what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali established with this society, it's not just the church, the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's set up, as a religious organization because that provides certain legal protections. It can't be touched because it's a religion.
Yes.
And it can be classified as that because of the spirituality, the spiritual aspect of it. But it's huge. It's bigger than that. Okay, and so this reconnects you to who you are. And if you actually get in and check out the Holy Quran and all that stuff and the Divine Constitution, all the things that he prepared, you'll see how this is setting you up to protect yourself, to educate you on who you are, and it has nothing to do with like pacifying you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
So it's like
actually to unite you as who you were to your forefathers and
it,
to reconnect that lineage.
yeah, and for people who have at least tried to get involved, like going to Sunday school, going to Holy Day service, I get where that would come from. Like if that was my first exposure to this like 12 years ago, and especially like 15 years ago, I would have probably been turned off because I wasn't ready yet. And so I don't say that to try to act like I'm like advanced beyond anyone else, because we're not coming with that mess. But just being real, been on it for years. Like if somebody's coming at me and they've been on this for 30, 40 years, I'm gonna listen to them. And so we've been on it long enough to be patient with it and to understand. Whereas 12 years ago, I would have probably been turned off like, nah, they're not doing
But
nothing. This is church.
you
But
have to understand those meetings, those meetings have information that you can't get nowhere else. Those meetings are part of your initiation. Those meetings are part of your overall education on your history of your community, your economics, your nationality, etc.
Islam. And then one thing to add to that, shout out to Shadi Isms, peace. Shout out to you, much respect. Islam Kyrie. All right, so I
Islam.
want to say, hey, we're gonna go live later today, right? Hood Mystic. So another thing I wanted to say in line with that, like with the whole Sunday school and Holy Day meetings on Friday, right? Check this out.
The park
Right,
is
in
getting packed, huh?
yeah, in ancient Egypt, okay, in the ancient mystery schools in ancient Egypt, okay, you weren't considered an adult until 42 years of age. Can you hold that still real quick? Until 42 years of age, right? So you have to be in there for a long time, and you have to be really patient. And
Mature. You
if
have to have sense of maturity.
if they're giving you some classes and lessons, that are about, refining yourself, and it seems redundant, and say you're in it for a year or two and you dropped off, you didn't pass the test.
You didn't pass the
You don't
test.
become an adept, you
You
know,
don't.
and you don't advance. And it's just real like that. And so there's some things that have to be done like that so that you can perfect. It's like building the temple of man. Um,
Yes.
Trying to think in Luxor or Karnak, right? The temple of man. You have to perfect yourself. You're always perfecting yourself, you know? And that's what those tools of the workshop of the mind are for, right? You see that square and compass? Those are the tools of the workshop of the mind. And on one level, I'm not just saying that it's purely metaphysical, purely spiritual, but on one level, the square and the compass, these are about constantly refining yourself, your own character, your own thoughts, because all is mind, right?
Islam.
Thoughts are everything. And so
Islam.
you control your thoughts, you control your reality. And to get to this perspective where you can handle the type of information and knowledge that you are given as an adept, an ancient Egyptian adept, you have to be mature enough to wield that power. Because to understand the seven hermetic principles, to understand that all is mind, that's like, okay, in Aladdin, when you have Jafar and he is tricked, they trick him into taking on the genie's powers by telling him you'll be the most powerful being in the universe. And since he was coming from the lower self perspective, he's like,
His
oh
ego.
wow, yeah, I'm gonna be more powerful. That genie is more powerful than me. He gets it, you know, and then he's entrapped. But the
That's
reason I'm
right.
saying that is because if you're trying to get that much power, you're coming from a lower perspective. Okay, the the principle of all is mind. That is the master key. Okay, and to have that power, to know that you control your thoughts, you control your reality, you can do anything. Anything is possible. And so the part of the process with the ancient mystery systems is to help refine yourself, refine your thoughts, to help you get connected to God within or Allah within, and to be able to handle your lost, stolen, your not stolen, but your lost heritage. The lost
Islam.
heritage is forgetting, not knowing who you are, that you're always connected to the infinite. All of us are, but the difference between us and the deers or the bees or the blades of grass and all these other things behind us is that
We have
we're
the ability
sentient
to
beings.
reason.
Okay? Yeah, so you have the image from the Quran questionnaire with Prophet Noble Drew Ali holding the woman, lifting her out of the cares of the world.
Symbolism.
One foot on the rock, and then the other foot in the spirituality. Or one foot in the water, one foot on the rock. So as man, as woman, you have one foot in spirituality and the other foot in the physical matter. Okay? And that's a special relationship. And so to be prepared to handle that, it takes some work and it takes some spiritual refinement. And it's not to say that you're not wonderful and ready for it, okay? Not to say that I'm any better than you or anything like that, just saying that we all need work. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you like 70 years old and you've been studying spirituality forever. You need work. We all do because we're in this world, all right? So you're in the world, but you're not necessarily of the world. Okay, and so you need to be able to balance that mix, and that's what it's about. And it's actually a lifelong process. Okay, and so the meetings aren't redundant. Maybe some of the people that handle it are doing it aren't really doing it to the capacity, but just sharing this with you to say that, like, especially like from us, our perspective, where we're at in Ohio, what we're doing, we've been through all the schools of thought. Like, we understand. Trust me, like, there's very little chance that you like working with something that we haven't been exposed to already, you know, especially, when it comes to like the sciences and alchemy and all of that. Okay, so none of this stuff is spooky or scary to us. And I just share that to say that we understand. I get it. I even get, why. Like, I never liked church. I always hated church. If she wanted us to go to church, like, it wouldn't work out. We wouldn't be here right now because, like, that's why I say I loved it because she had altars and all that stuff. It was cool, And so I feel you, if you feel like that, okay. And I'm saying like now, with the better perspective on things, can see the wisdom in that. Now I can read the Bible and get, higher wisdom and insight from it because I can see the esoteric message in there that is really all about you.
Right.
And
And that's
so,
what I was gonna say. Like, don't throw away those Bibles. The prophet said, don't throw out those Bibles because all these books have knowledge and wisdom in them. And it's not that you don't agree with it, you don't understand it. And our meetings, when we crack open those Circle 7 Qurans, we also crack open the the Holy Bible. We cross reference these things because the lessons are everywhere, the
Exactly.
symbolisms are everywhere.
And for a lot of us, like, you would get more power actually from working with the Bible than you would trying to go into voodoo because you didn't really grow up with it. Like with her family being from the Caribbean, or maybe like you from somewhere like deep in the South, like Louisiana, or, some places in Mississippi where they was actually practicing it, where your family's been doing it for years, where it's in your DNA, and where that's where your power is. But for a lot of us, that you going towards something new because that's like what we doing, like as a whole, as a collective. People are waking up and rejecting the systems that you're in because you don't see anything empowering in it, you know. But if you see the esoteric message in it, you know that you already have everything you need.
Right.
All right. And so I share that though to say that, like, like with the temple, as I was saying, okay, we have an ancient Egyptian data for real, and the prophet Noble Drew Ali, who came and established a system of initiation, or as a brother that we were speaking with at convention was saying, kind of returning the rites of passage to us, right? Coming, bringing a system to initiate us into our mysteries, our sciences, okay? And so if you're walking right up and you're looking at what's going on and you don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that you need to refine yourself so that the secrets can be revealed to you, because it's always here, just like it's always around you. Like God is right here, right? Like God is in that blade of grass right there.
Yes.
Okay, the infinite is in all of this, and so you don't see that when we're in the savage state. We don't see any of that, but it's always there. It was always right in front of you. Everything that you needed was always right there in the mirror. We don't need to blame anything that's affecting us on anyone else. This is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that we suffer because, you know, we chase after the gods of the Europeans. We gave up our own culture.
Right. We into everything. Everything somebody's selling, we buying.
We
It's time to
willingly
stop it.
we willingly go under the labels now. Like maybe in the past, there was some force in it and trickery, but in this day and age, we're willingly going along with these labels that
With
have
no
been placed on
pushback.
us to take, sap our power from us. Indian, Negro, black, colored, African American, all
Latino,
slavery.
all that stuff.
Yeah, slave terms.
Ethiopian.
Indian is the slave term. Okay, I mean you can look it up. It means the same as Negro. It means slave. So we willingly go along with these things that we didn't define ourselves, and so he let us know that, like, we're suffering for our own doing. We control our reality.
And a lot of that is because our people don't read. We don't pick up books. We don't study. We don't we don't have the attention spans to read, hundreds of pages. We're so busy and distracted and here and there and partying and turning up. So you forgot who you are, who you here to be.
Yeah,
It's
and
lost.
that's why they put, like, all the things in the food to, like, have people with these
The
fake things like
fluoride.
ADD and all this stuff. Like, you're not supposed to be patient enough to get it, and everything else that, like, you need is going to turn you off. And that's by design. But you have to you still, just because it's done doesn't mean you have to go along with it. Just, it's been done to you and you can undo it as well.
That's
And like
all.
I said, like, I probably would have been turned off by that stuff too. You know, a dozen years ago, but now we're more refined spiritually.
A
Through a
dozen years
lot.
ago.
Like people don't even know. Like we straight moved out the country to Brazil, to a place that we knew no one. With three little children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And had
saying?
another one
And we didn't just
overseas.
go like just regular people just go to sightseeing and stuff. We went on some, yo, this Babylon, we out. It's burning down. We don't want to be here. And we stayed for a long time. Like, we knew other people that tried to move. Nobody stayed gone for like 5, 6 years except for us. Like, that's how, you know, you know, we was on that. Like, because I know a lot of people's feeling like, oh, we gotta move, we gotta do all this. Like, this is it. Everyone else is still in with all this stuff that's going on. Trump building that wall. People still trying to come here because this is
Still.
it.
This is it. This
This
is
is
the
it.
milk
If
and
you want to
honey.
leave, they're gonna be happy. If you want to leave and give it up, they're gonna be happy because this is your land. And if you want to leave because it's too hard,
They
because you
could take it
giving up,
back.
man.
That's right.
Man, you just don't
Easy.
know, you know. And I'm saying this like not trying to belittle or down anything, but I'm just saying like I've been through what you've been through, and we went all the way with it. We actually like manifested because we didn't have money and families with money and stuff. We manifested it. We made it come to us to where we could actually move and do it. And you know what I'm saying. And now we come back with a wider perspective, a better understanding on things.
And that
And
goes back to the science of the
listen to
mind.
this. You know, trust me. Listen to this.
Visualize what you want.
You know, cause like I said, man, I know people feeling like, man, we want to get out, man. You want to leave. I mean, go for it. I'm not telling you don't go out and experience the world. We did it too. But I'm telling you, like, you know, just coming from a wider perspective after living there 5, 6 years, coming back and seeing like, okay, this is ours. They want us to leave. They would love it if we would just leave. This is your land, like literally yours, and it's been yours. And the Moorish connection is what links you to it. Because why? Because the Moors weren't just in Morocco. They weren't just in Spain. Okay, they're not just in the Philippines. The Moros.
It's a
You got the.
worldwide
I mean, like the more
civilization.
you go, you find out they're everywhere. Okay, they. It was a worldwide civilization,
Yes.
and that's why when you look at that ancient Easter Island heads, you see that they have on feathers. That you see that the Indians here were wearing feathers and turbans. Okay, literally, we're not making this up. You know, anywhere you see pyramids, there's a pyramid here in Ohio in Miamisburg. There's pyramids everywhere. There's pyramids off the coast of Japan that are underwater. Those are Moors. Okay, why? Because these are the caretakers of Egyptian knowledge and wisdom. Why are they the caretakers? Because Tom Mary was the land of the Moors.
Hey.
Okay, and because it doesn't matter if, say, in California, the Moors there called themselves something different. Okay, names change over time, but they were Moors, and they were still carrying on the practice. And this is why we were saying earlier, like in another video, about doing salat, you know, praying, going all the way down. Okay, uh, shout out to the brother Talit, Islam to Talit in New
Islam.
Jersey. He really hit on something, some insight. When you see the old movies like Tarzan and all this stuff, and they show the indigenous people, in any of the movies, King Kong, it doesn't matter. When they see King Kong, they start bowing down to him. He's a god, and they bow all the way down, like this, you know, literally. Okay, they make salat. Anytime
Not
they
like
see a
that.
god, they make the salat. Okay, why? Because this is what indigenous people do all over the world. Everywhere you go, this is what the indigenous people do. It doesn't matter where you're at. In Indonesia, it doesn't matter where you go. This is what they do. This is what we do because we're Muslims by nature. You know,
Islam.
and you know, there's differences in culture, cultural differences in how it's practiced everywhere. But this is what we do. All right.
And
This
back
is
to
who
the
we are.
subject. Is the MSTofA like church? No, okay? Church is like us. You feel me? Because they use the church to take away our our original practices and our belief systems. Okay, so I mean, no matter where you see our people, you see, you see God, you see style, you see soul, you see flavor in the food, you see even if we dancing, everything we do is flavorful and flagrant, beautiful. That's that God that's within.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and like what she was saying, like church, like what they do, like, you know, most people, you know, we dancing and singing, you know, they had to come and like try to get us to practice what they were practicing, you know, but we still had to integrate it into what we're doing. What were they doing, you know, where they're doing all the snake charm handling and stuff, you know, the Pentecostal, whatever. It's because they was practicing voodoo. What
Hey.
was they doing in the Caribbean? Y'all got all these different saints, and they all the
Uh-huh.
colors of the different orishas, the different chakras. It's like
Yep.
we still carrying on our thing, and there's still wisdom in that, you know. But with the Moorish Science Temple of America, it's a little different. He's coming straight out and telling you, you know, in the Quran, it's the difference between that and the Bible. He's coming straight out and telling you. There's a half of it that's dealing with your spiritual upliftment, refining you so that you can handle being an adept, so that you can handle the ancient Egyptian mystery system, right? So
Right.
that you can handle it.
Right.
And then the second half is explaining actually who you are, your connection, why you're more, what to do about it. It's serious.
And a lot of
They don't
people
tell
get
you this anywhere
frustrated
else.
because when they read it, they just reading the words. They're not actually researching and looking these words up to see what they really mean or the different meanings of these words, and trying to process the time and where the stuff was taking place. So you don't really get the feel and the gist of what the message is. You're just reading the words. You can't do that. There's messages in those words. There's secret subliminal messages behind the messages that you have to get in tune with.
Islam to the Moors in Florida. So you know, like the difference, with the temple, like in the church, like outright, he comes and lets you know that Christianity is for the Europeans. We're not knocking Christianity or
For the
Europeans or
earthly
any of that.
salvation
Just saying that it's for the earthly, and Islam or Islamism is
is
for our
for
earthly and divine
divine
salvation.
salvation.
And
Yes.
you know, it's okay if you have questions, or if the meaning and message isn't apparent to you when reading it. And I get the English that is written in. It's not how we speak now in 2019. Okay. But if you have questions, ask. And that's one of the reasons why, I advise almost to go into the temple, so that you can ask, so that you can get insight. Because one of the things with just winging it out here, just dealing with this stuff online, is it's not all cool. And there's some things that I can say from having insight and understanding from being in this for years, is that, most of the stuff that I learned online was trash, was straight trash. And not only just trash, but can actually get you locked up, and can ruin your life if you take that stuff seriously. Because most of it, the stuff floating around is coming from the redemption manuals and things that were started by like white supremacists that, was just them trying to, beef and trying to fight for power within this government. It has nothing to do with us. All right. Okay, so like you winging it, or you just trying to mess with some Moors over here, some Moors over there, or whatever. I'm not trying to knock those Moors over there or the ones online or any of that, but let's just be real. It's trash. And they either knowingly are dealing with trash and don't care, or, some of them are trying to get other people, in trouble, because that's their job, right?
And yes, another thing, yes, we are all Moors, right? Whether if you're declared or undeclared, but you are not a Moorish American Muslim, and you're not in the Holy Divine movement. There's a difference, okay? Because you have to actually proclaim your nationality with the MSTofA that was set up by Prophet Noble Drew Ali to actually get into that loop. Like, you could be out here claiming more, do the handshake, wear the charm, and you got all that stuff online. That doesn't actually make you a part of this movement. There is a difference, okay? Like, you don't have any of the protections and the benefits of the movement if you're not actually in it.
Hmm.
And there's another thing, like, okay, you have these IDs and all. Look, let me tell you something. Growing up, when I was a teenager, I got a fake ID so that I could go into the clubs. Yes, I could get into the clubs, but guess what? It wasn't real. It didn't matter in real life. Okay? So you actually have to proclaim a nationality with the MSTofA correctly, be a card carrying, dues paying more, be faithful, so that you can actually understand what this movement is about.
Yeah, everybody else need to just go on and do what they gonna do. I don't care. Like, if you have no interest in abiding by our divine constitution and bylaws, you're not going to respect our government and what we have set up. You trash,
And that's
and that's
cool,
not a
but
diss to you.
you're
You just
not
need to
part
do
of it
you.
though.
Like
It's
what I
cool, but you're not part of it though. And you can act like you are, you could tell people you are, I'm a Moor, but it's not the same. There's a line, and you're over there.
So the people that's doing them, do you, and put another name on it. Like call it the tribe or whatever you want to call it. And don't try to, like, because like if some people like that, just being real, like with what we're doing here, having a temple here, if somebody is messing with all this other stuff that I was just saying, this redemption manual type mess, and they coming around me because I know what they're dealing with, and they not like talking around circles around me, I'm trashing it. Like, yo, get out of here. Go
That's
do
not
you.
what we're about.
Don't try to come and involve yourself with the society to try to protect yourself, so that you can go in court like, yeah, I'm a member of this. We this strong. And
Right.
no, you're
That's
not.
not what it's
You're by
about.
yourself, because you don't want to abide by our divine constitution and bylaws. And if you
Yes.
don't want to abide by our rules, by our laws, you're trash. And that's not to say that you're a bad person. It just means that from the perspective of being a member, you are not a member. You are by yourself. You are over there. Don't try to link yourself, with something greater, for protection. Be out there and be by yourself and do you, and do it. You know what I'm saying? Because, and And that's the other thing that a lot of people don't know. If you're new to this, you don't know that there's a lot of trash out there. You know, you got people who have um, no desire at all to better themselves. They're not trying to stop getting drunk every day and high. They're not trying to stop, abusing their kids, children. They're not trying to stop, whatever trifling mess it is that they have going on. So refining themselves spiritually and becoming better definitely doesn't appeal to them. And
Who's
then
the
the whole
devil? What's the 5 names of the devil? Okay,
exactly, okay. And
that's
so
you. That's your lowest self.
and these people definitely don't want to abide by our divine constitution and bylaws, right? Right? And so people who don't want to abide by our constitution and bylaws, like, you can kick rocks. You can kick rocks all the way down the street. Ain't nobody messing with you. You are by yourself. Be strong and be by yourself. Don't try to link yourself with something else. That's weak. And so I just say that to say that, like, this is what the temple is about. Like, it's official, it's real. The thing that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali came and brought is more revolutionary than any RBG mess. And he's not even trying to, he's doing it official. We're not out here trying to bang on the government or anything like that because we're official. And this is what a lot of you don't know. Marcus Mosiah Garvey was saying the same thing. He's like, don't be out here rioting against the government. That's not what organized, civilized people do, right? And there is something in Florida. Contact Temple 8. Temple 8 at MSTofA.net. There's a lot of them. I actually know at least 4 or 5 Moors, maybe 6, 7 Moors in Florida that's members of that temple. They might even be starting another study group. So, for real. Yeah, and then, okay, we got 2 Peace to D Calico, TL for Aaron Tafari. So we got 3 people in here that's in Florida. Every last one of you, contact Temple8 at MSTofA.net. That's Temple8, word Temple, number 8 at MSTOFA.net. There's no excuses. You might be surprised to find out, how many Moors is in there and who's in there. Like, it's for real. Get with the Moors and build. There's no excuses now. And, like, especially for you guys out there that are upstanding, like, if y'all not out here trying to get high and drunk all the time, trying to rob your own people, trying to sell drugs to your own people, trying to do some of the trifling stuff that people's doing, you a real upstanding person, then there's no reason not to get into the temple. Like, abiding by our laws and rules is not going to be some restrictive thing for you because you are civilized. You're a descendant of the ones who civilized the entire world.
You're
So this
noble.
is not going to stop you. You know what I'm saying? You know that it's a necessity. And you understand that when the prophet said, if the temple's not right, that he's not right, and vice versa. You understand that. You know that if there's some problems in the temple, that you need to get in there and fix it. You know? And yeah, I know that Temple 8 in Florida, they have physical meetings and online meetings. So there's no excuse because even some of the Moors are in different cities. Yeah, in Central Florida, because there were some Moors out there in Orlando that we met. I, they attend meetings online, and I think they might even be about to open a, a mission. Okay, so you see that brother Hope Bay just said send them our way. Contact that brother on the side. Temple 8. Yes.
Islam.
Okay, and just for the whole state of Florida for now, so everybody can get online, because they conduct meetings online as well. Okay, as well in addition to physically. Because, like, look, in this day and time, we need to know what time it is. And so you see those Moors, they serious. They know we have to organize and be unified in a lot of the things that we move. Like coming up, me and the brother Dan Dragel are gonna have classes on the 2020 census so that we can all get in accordance, because there's certain things that we need to do, and there's actually a strategy in place, a national strategy. Okay, so like, of course, we're gonna let the Moors in Ohio know. Everybody that's gonna come in, join with us, proclaim their nationality. We're gonna get everybody in alignment. But for all the other Moors, like in Florida, in Arkansas, and everywhere that you're at, we all need to be doing the same thing.
Islam. And the whole purpose of the MSTFA is to teach us Moors our nationality. It's to teach us about our history. It's to teach our nationality.
All right, and so for the person that just said, what about the boroughs, the 5 boroughs in New York? Look, contact register at mstofa.net. Okay, contact them, get in touch with the Moors in your area. Okay, and if there's no temple or mission, you can build one.
Islam. We build the missions out here.
I, you know what I'm saying? The brother asked about hemp. You know, I don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's natural. It's from the earth. And not. It's not just for getting high.
Are you
It
using
has
it to be
several purposes.
productive?
You know
Are
that
you using it to
Ford used to
be
build. I heard. I don't know for a fact. I know that Ford used to build the cars out of hemp. So there's like so many purposes for it. So you know, it's not just about like getting high and being content with your life. You know, because you got a lot of people that have that problem. That's why they put stuff like that in the hood, because we still the quote unquote Indians, where they would give us liquor so we be content while they scheming and planning and strategizing on taking everything
but
from you.
on some
But
real
hold on
stuff?
1 second. What they was doing with the weed, you know, not him. They
Yeah.
was giving that to us, and they still like we was just in the hood like 2 seconds ago. You give it to people, and people's content, right? People are content. So no matter how good or bad you're doing, you good because you could just come home and just chill. And you know what I'm saying? You ain't making enough money. You got like 12 children running around and child support and all this stuff. You got cases and you cool because you could get high, even though like you should be like hustling, like, yo, man, I gotta get out of this box. I can't be stuck. Like you can't even drive because your license suspended because you got like all these different, man. That's horrible. And then you're limited and restricted. You can't just move. Like we could just go out the country and come back and be good. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to move like that. You know? And if you're restricted and you're just getting high, I'm not trying to get on no soapbox or nothing, but if you're just doing that, then you know that's just like the liquor, that the fire water they try to give us to keep us content. But like as far as like growing hemp and all the processes, like just read something talking about how like eating hemp, marijuana, whatever, it like cures cancer.
It's
So
like the
I mean, come
CBD.
on, man, you can't hate on that.
But
Okay.
on the flip side, our people suffer from trauma. Okay, so we're using these drugs and alcohol to cover up something. And
Yeah.
let's get to the nitty
Let's
gritty.
be
Let's
real
get to
about
the
it.
root of the problem. Okay, because covering it up with drugs and alcohol is not getting you where you need to be. Okay, so that's another issue. Why are you getting high? Are you not happy in life? Are you not doing what you want to do in life? It's like,
That's on you though.
right? Are you getting high to meditate so that you could access the Akashic records? It's like you have to think about these things because, like I said, our people, our communities is full of trauma. Okay, we are hurt. We're broken people, and we don't need to put all this stuff in our bodies to kind of distract us even more, to take us away from healing.
Yeah, so I mean, you know what you're doing with it, man. Nobody's here to like tell you what you can and can't do. And if you got your stuff together, you good. You can handle yourself, right? I don't see nothing wrong with that. And you know what I'm saying? Like somebody just asked a question in here. Oh yeah, somebody asked about the consulate. Look, I'm not here to down any other groups or anything. I just
But that's
I,
off
I
the
put a
subject.
video up.
There's
Yeah, that's off
videos
the
about the
subject, but I put a
consulate.
video up showing
It's
that
not part of the
frequently.
MSTofA DNA.
Exactly. They had they frequently asked questions, and it's all dealing with the lower self. How to get out these charges, how to get out of paying the child support with some child that you created with somebody you don't even like, and that's how come you paying them child support. Like they're not dealing with the real issues, and that was one of the problems why we have so many of this janky stuff and this passing off as Moorish, just because you had a lot of people who were in their lower self who were coming to the people who were teaching this stuff, and they started mixing in that redemption manual stuff with it to get them remedies, and they realized this is how it spreads. And so on one end, that's how they help spread it, and that's how come a lot of us know about it. But on the other end, a lot of this stuff got to get cleaned up now, because y'all running around thinking that's what it is, and that Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't bring any of that. And what we're supposed to do is emulate him because he was successful. All you do is look at his life and the works that he left behind, the actual Constitution and Quran and everything, and look at what he was doing. He was starting businesses. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. We got to start businesses, not let me get out this child support. We got to start
Productivity.
businesses, not man, my license suspended. I'm gonna stand on my right to travel. That ain't doing
You don't want to
anything
pay
for
child
uplifting
support?
the nation,
Get your
bro.
kid.
You wanna do something about right to travel? Let's build up. Let's have our own DMV and all that. Let's get a whole state. Let's get all the Moors in the state. Where it's majority us and take control. Have political and legislative control of that state where you control everything. Let's do that. Let's do it on a grown up level. Let's not listen to these people who's giving little escape artists things that ain't gonna work for nothing. It's just wasting more time. Okay, that's not stopping them from killing, little children. They killed a 12-year-old boy up here in Cleveland, not too long ago. He was outside playing, you know, with BB gun or something.
And you know why? Because
So
he had no nationality.
standing on right to travel ain't helping him, and they still killing him. That case going on in Dallas right now. That woman went up in dude's house and killed him. That's crazy. Like, she should be, on death row for that. She murdered him. I don't care what the excuse was. That's wrong, right? So doing this crazy mess, squatting in houses ain't fixing that. And then we not seeing anyone succeed in that. It'd be different if they were winning. Okay, so we need to do what works. We know that the Prophet actually started businesses. We know that other Moors were starting businesses. We know that they had an economic base. We know that they were getting to the point where they were unified politically. We know that other dignitaries and people had to come to the Prophet to offer, support in exchange for support. Like, what do you need, so that you can help us get into office? We know that that works, and we know that that's why it came under attack, and we know that that's why they want everybody to be all scattered out here. Like, oh yeah, the Moor said that we gotta go over here and squat in his house, and that we can't have no license. We gotta be messed up out here. We gotta be living janky out here. That's what they telling you. That don't work. Okay, watch out for that stuff. That's what I'm saying. Get into the temple so you know what's what.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that's how we can. That's how, a lot of the stuff that I was learning. That's why I'm saying I had to trash all that. It was trash. Okay, I'm just glad I ain't try to like mess up my life behind it. I was just looking at it. Let me see it work, and it didn't work for nobody. So that I knew it was trash.
Anyways, I hope we cleared up that what the MSTofA is, what we doing in Columbus with our Muslim mission number 30.
Islam.
I hope we kind of broke it down how it's not church.
Yeah, there's
We
nothing
do
more.
gather. We're supposed to gather. We're supposed to talk about these things. And if that reminds
Hey,
you of church,
church
okay.
didn't tell me that
Church is
we've
not.
been over here in the Americas since before the Atlantic Ocean was
Right,
created. Like,
right.
get out of here. You think that church? Come on, man, grow up with it. And if the stuff doesn't appeal to you, it means as wonderful as you are, you still got work to do. You still have refinement to do. That means as wonderful as you are, you still need those tools of the workshop of the mind, right? You still need the square and compass. You still need to square off your own mind, your own imperfections, and you have to rise up so that you can discern, so that you can understand the message.
And another
If
thing,
it looks like gibberish to you, you still have work to do.
another thing, this society has you so disconnected and into your own self, your image and your lower self, that you don't feel comfortable being around other people like you, like minds. You don't feel you're antisocial. You don't know how to be social. You go on social media, posting memes and pictures, but that's all you're about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You can't just do this online.
They took away your soul.
If you just the more online and you just like doing this online, you're not really learning nothing and building. You're not able to build with real people who's on the same thing as
Right.
you, a real community that's recognized really where you're at. Where they know that, oh, those are the Moors.
Moors
Those are
are
Moorish
people.
Americans. They're
Okay,
peaceful.
we hands-on people.
Yeah, like, I mean, like it is important, and it is important, to handle yourself, from, in an organized manner, and to, deal with yourself politically, public relations, all of that,
Yes.
so that they know where you're at. That, okay, those are the Moors. They're
That's
cool.
right. You got to be seen
It needs
in
to
the
be known.
community, doing positive work and being productive. You can't just be at home on your computer and on your phones talking about I'm a Moor and all this stuff. And it's like, what do you do?
And then don't
What do you do for your community?
nobody watch this and think that we're like talking to you specifically, because it's like for everyone. So this
Yeah,
is not
this is
like
in
aimed at
general.
anybody, because we don't know what you're doing where you're at. This is just like coming from what people are saying, and so we're trying to answer questions in general. But this is like for real. There's nothing like slavery or churchy about Moor Science Temple or the Quran or anything that the Prophet brought. And yes, we do need to be civilized, and yes, we need to go back to our ancient ways, and to unify. So all the tribes, I don't care if you want to be Aboriginal and you want to be Sagali or Cherokee or whatever you want to call it, Halito, you want to say all this stuff, you Kemetic, you're Hebrew Israelite, you're Nation of Islam, you're 5%, all this stuff. That's cool. But guess what? Unify as a Moorish American, because all of that came from Moorish science. All right? Because it's
Islam.
deeper than that. All right?
Now back to your schedulely programming, your regularly scheduled programming. We out of here. Peace and love,
Peace. Peace and
Islam.
love.
We love you. Learn something, share something, like something.
Peace.